Hey guys, welcome back. Today on The Untidy Artist, I am excited to show you how to make a boy fairy doll. This is a tutorial I have had a lot of requests for, so to everyone that requested this, here you go. It was a lot of fun to put together. If you're new to my fairy doll tutorials, you'll want to check out my basic fairy doll. Let's grab some supplies and get started. The first thing you'll need is a fairy doll body. And to do this, you take a wooden bead, a piece of floral wire, and some embroidery floss for the hair, and you twist it into this little doll. You'll want to click on my basic fairy doll tutorial up in the corner there, click on the video, or I will put the link to this video in the comments below, and it will teach you how to twist this all together to get your cute little doll. Then you'll need some thread, one color for the skin, and then I've got two colors here for the clothes, so some black and some blue. Once again, you will be twisting and wrapping your doll a lot. Definitely with this tutorial, you do wrap with the thread a lot, and you'll be wanting to refer back to my basic fairy doll tutorial for that. You'll need some sharp scissors, and mine weren't as sharp as I wanted them to be, but they worked. And a glue gun, and I like mine set on low because it's easier to handle. And that's it. So the first step is to grab your fairy doll body, and you can see I don't have the skin wrapped on the doll yet. You want to wait to do that. The reason I do that is you've got all of the hair in the way, and where you're going to be doing a lot of wrapping, it's just easier to get the hair done first. So push the bead down towards the neck, take a dab of glue, and put it right at the top where the hair is on top of the wire, and push the bead up so it holds it all together. And you can see that's what it's going to look like. And then you're going to smooth out the hair on both sides. And get it nice and smooth, and then pull it straight back, and you're going to loop it up and around and hook it onto the back of the doll's head. So you face the doll face down, and then you smooth out the thread and loop it up and around and hook it in the back just about 1/8 of an inch below the top of the bead. And so you're just making one big loop, and hold that into place until it gets nice and secure. And if you need to go back and add any other glue, go ahead and do that now. You want it to all hold into place, and then smooth it down. And this is actually how I do the hair for my girl fairy dolls. So for the boy, we're going to start it this way, and then you're going to smooth it all out, and we're going to be doing a lot of fairy doll haircut styling. So get it all smoothed out, and you can see we want to cover up that open spot on the back there. So I just very carefully arrange the thread so it covers that part up. And I will go back and add a tiny dab of glue because we want the back of the head, all of the bead to be covered on the back of the head. We want all of the thread to be laying down on that part. So I will take a small dab of glue, work with very small dabs of glue. You can do it slowly, work a little bit at a time, and then gently kind of pull the thread down. I don't press it down really hard, I just gently push it just to hold it into place so it doesn't smash it. And once we have it all arranged so the back is completely covered, I'm going to start cutting. So grab your scissors, and I'm just going to cut so it's just about right at the neck. And the sharper the scissors, the better. My kids like to steal my scissors, and so they're never as sharp as I want them to be, but this worked for this tutorial, so I hope you have sharper scissors. Okay, so at this point you've got some short hair, and now what you're going to do is start arranging it. It's going to be poking out and kind of look like crazy hair for a while, but what you want to do is with small dabs of glue, just gently, one section at a time, kind of arrange the hair so it's laying flat against the head. And I like to start at the front. Just one little dab at a time, and kind of gently just arrange it and press it into place. And then you're going to start cutting some more. So we're actually going to cut the thread pretty close to the bead, And at this point, we're cutting it all straight across the back, but now we're going to start cutting it on an angle. If you've ever made a pom-pom out of thread or yarn, it's kind of the same idea. So I'm just holding my fingers against the side of the bead and holding the thread into place, and then taking my scissors and cutting right along that. So by using your fingers and holding the hair the same distance from the bead every time you cut it, you're going to get an even haircut for your fairy doll. So I just go around and smooth out the hair and cut it from every angle using my fingers as a guide. And you're going to do that all the way around the hair. So I start in the front and then I move towards the back, just gently smoothing it out and using my fingers as a guide, holding my fingers against the bead, and then cutting right against the side of my fingers. And be careful, if you do have sharp scissors, you want to be careful that you don't get cut. And his hair looks super crazy right now, like he stuck his finger in a light socket or something, but it's okay, just keep going. I would definitely say that hair for fairy dolls is probably the trickiest part, and this did take some practice, but I think he turned out really cute. And so if you've been waiting for a boy fairy doll, then it will be worth the extra time it takes to do the hair. So you can see the hair's still poking up, but I'm going to just keep trimming it gently, because at the end we'll go back through and add some little dabs of glue wherever we need the hair to sit down closer to the head. And I'm just going around holding my fingers to the side of the head and then making sure that it's all cut evenly. And then at the end, I kind of just go back through in any little spots that look like they're kind of raggedy or need to be trimmed a little bit more. And this is what it's starting to look like. And at this point, what I like to do is trim it and then hold it up and kind of smooth it down with my finger, and then I go back and trim it a little bit more. You'll notice I'm not using my fingers as a guide at this point. At this point, I'm just trying to even things up. And so I just kind of use my scissors and cut very slowly and carefully along the bottom. And you can see there's our fairy haircut pile of thread. And it looks like we're just about getting there. So now at this point, I'm actually going to go back and fill in any little spots where the hair needs to sit down. So using small dabs of glue again, and putting a little dab of glue and then gently pressing the hair down. You don't want to smash it because you don't want the glue smashed against the side of the head. You want it just nicely laying on top of the bead. So tiny dab of glue, and then I gently smooth the hair over that, holding it into place. And just be patient and work slowly. So continue to smooth the hair down, one little section at a time, until you have it all laying the way that you'd like. And I usually have some little pieces that like to poke up anyway, but I think it gives my little fairy doll some character, so at this point, this is what it will look like. And you can see some of it needs to be evened up just a little bit. And so I kind of hold the doll at an angle and then just gently trim up any little spots that maybe are a little bit bulky or that I wasn't able to get the hair trimmed as much as I needed to. And a word of caution with this is to go very slowly because you don't want to cut too much off at this point. You're just kind of barely trimming up the hair so it's even. And then smooth it down. And there you go. You have a boy fairy hairstyle. Now this next part, if you're familiar with my fairy doll tutorials, will be very familiar. We're going to take the thread that we've chosen for the skin and starting at the waist, take a small dab of glue and we're going to wrap it up to right underneath the shoulders and wrap it down the arms, up the neck, and then down the body to both legs. So if you have never made a fairy doll before, click on my basic fairy doll tutorial that's up in the corner there. Click right on the video, or once again, I will have a link for my basic fairy doll tutorial down in the comments. So once you have the thread for the skin wrapped around your fairy doll, this is what it will look like. Now you're going to grab the color for the pants. I will be doing other types of clothing for my boy fairy dolls. If this is a tutorial you'd like to see, please leave a comment below. For this one, we're just going to be wrapping thread for the clothing around our fairy doll. So starting right at the waist, I'm going to take my black thread, I'm going to put a small dab of glue, and just like I wrapped the thread for the skin on the body, I'm going to do the same thing for the clothes. This time though, I'm starting right at the waist and I'm wrapping down, and I'm going to wrap down one leg and start the very top there and end it right above where his foot would be. Go back up the leg and then do it on the other side as well. So this is what that will look like. And once again, you can refer back to that basic fairy doll tutorial where I go through how to wrap the doll's clothing in more basic step-by-step instructions. Then I'm going to take my blue thread and we're going to use this as a shirt. So I'm going to take a dab of glue, I'm going to put it right underneath his arms there, and using my thread, wrap it around and wrap just like you did the skin. So from the bottom of one arm up over the other shoulder, and we're going to make some sleeves and then wrap back down to the waist. And if you have any questions as you go along in this part, my basic fairy doll tutorial does go through a lot more basic steps and goes through this part a lot slower. And that's it, guys. You're all set. You have a boy fairy doll. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like I said, this was a very requested tutorial, so it was a lot of fun to do. I would love to hear from you if you would like to leave any comments or suggestions below in the comment section. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. That would be amazing. And give this tutorial a big thumbs up if you liked it. Please check out some of my other fairy doll tutorials as well as some of my other craft tutorials. And you can do that by checking out my YouTube channel or going to untidyartist.com. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.